Hello everybody, here we are taking a look at some new content this week, and today we're going to look at checkboxes, which is a pretty simple object that you can put in your program. Kind of like radio buttons, except they have the advantage that you can select more than one checkbox. You know, if we had a group, here we're using a group box again to organize these checkboxes. And if they're radio buttons, we'd be limited to picking one, but now we have a checkbox here, so we can do multiple checks here inside here. So in the toolbox, you'll see there's a checkbox item or object that we can put on there. By the way, there's also a checked list box. You might want to check that out as well. We're certainly not going to look at all these objects in here. We'll just introduce some common ones, but that's a huge thing you could do for creativity there, is just check out some other objects in the toolbox and see if you can find a way to incorporate them into your programs. But here we have a program that's just this little morning to-do checklist. We've got some things we want to do before we make it out of the house each day, so we're checking these off and saying that we're done with them. The nice thing about a checkbox is it has this checked property that we can look for. So here we've got an if-then statement. So if we've checked that we've got our lunch, seems to be a problem for me. I get my lunch, but I didn't bring something along to drink. So I've got just a message box that pops up that says, hey, you check that you have your lunch. Did you remember to bring a water bottle? Also, we've got this down here, then this next event. When we say we're all done, we're looking here, and here again, now this probably isn't the best way to structure it, but we've got a if not right here. So in other words, if we haven't checked off that we made our bed, checked off that we've got our lunch, checked off that we've got our homework, checked off that we've brushed our teeth, then this message box is going to pop up and say, did you forget something? Okay, so it's a pretty simple program. It doesn't do that much. It just helps us take a look here at checkboxes, right? So we check, there we go. Oh, don't forget the bottled water. It does that. I say I'm all done. And it's saying, did I forget something? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot some other stuff. No big deal, right? So pretty good there. One other thing, I don't think any of you are going to find that confusing or anything. We name it with CHK and then capitalize the descriptive name. One other thing I just wanted to bring up, since this is a simple, quick little topic here, is how we can use a character to continue our code on a single line if we want to break it up into multiple lines. For example, we have a line of code here that's starting to go pretty far along the screen. We've had longer ones already, I know. But if we wanted to break this up, well, and for a couple reasons, to break it up so that it's not so long trailing off to the right, but also to make the logic easier to follow, what I could do here is if I put a space after some object or character in the line of code here, and then I type my underscore character and then hit return, it will treat that like it's just one big long line of code. If you just click in there and you just try to type a return, you're gonna get an error message, right? But now notice, not only did I make this so it looks like it trails off so long, but I've also made this logic structure a little bit easier to read, I think. If it's saying if not, bed check, lunch check, homework check, teeth check, show this message box, right? Pretty simple right there. Just by putting these underscores in here with the enter, it allowed me to bring this code down to the next line. It runs this like it's one big long line of code, but it just makes it a little bit simpler and easier to read. So you might want to use that in your programs when you get some of these pretty long and tedious logic structures to make them easier for yourself to read, and certainly you'd want to do it for people that might be editing your code later. Try those two things out.